the Meralco Bolts evened their series against the TNT Tropang Giga after winning Game 2 in overtime, 124 to 117. KJ McDaniels cranking it up for Meralco after a quiet 12-point performance in the series opener. McDaniels roared back here in Game 2 with 39 points, also pulling down a whopping 20 rebounds in 46 minutes of play. Another high-voltage performance as well for Aaron Black. AB zapped TNT with a career-high 28 points plus 10 assists in over 47 electrifying minutes of action. And hard-working workhorse Cliff Hodge showing all-out hustle amid a hard fall late in regulation. The Bionic Man completed Meralco's bounce-back performance in Game 2 with 15 markers and 9 boards. The Bolts now tie the series at 1 game apiece. Game 3 of the Meralco TNT semifinal series will also be on Wednesday at the Big Dome. And now joining us to go all out on this story via Zoom is Meralco Bolts' tireless forward, the Bionic Man, a workhorse, Cliff Hodge. Cliff joins us via Zoom. Hey, buddy, good morning. Welcome back to the show. Long time, Cliff.
Morning.
Cheers. Bring up your coffee, man.
Cheers.
That's what you need. That's what you deserve after an awesome game. What a game, Cliff. Did you get tired?
Yeah.
Because I know you don't get tired. You're just a workhorse. You can play all 48 minutes. But honestly, tell me, man, be honest. Man to man, just you and me. Were you tired last night after that epic OT game?
Super tired. I did. When it went into overtime, I was like, really? Come on. But yeah, it was a great
points.
game.
Yeah.
One of the craziest games I've been in, and I'm just glad we came out on top.
It's crazy. 15 points for you, 9 boards, as I said. Also, those 2 shot blocks. Superb game all around for you, AB, KJ, whom I believe those 20 boards. I know it's really. I hope it's sustainable, but 20 boards every game. That's what KJ needs to do, in my opinion, to get you all the way back to the finals. What a great bounce back. Of course, you started this series losing to TNT. It was actually back and forth last night. It was a tightly contested game compared to the one in Game 1. How did you guys pull off this win? What adjustments did you guys talk about or did you make, even Coach Norman's side? Talk to me about it. KJ McDaniels as well. What did you guys talk about after coming out flat in Game 1 against TNT?
Well, Game 1, we really got blown out, so it was kind of embarrassing. So we didn't want that to happen again. And we knew we needed a lot from KJ. And he came and performed, and we need him to do that every game. And as far as like game planning and stuff for Talking Text, we know they have the #1 offense and we have the #1 defense. So we know we wanted to try and figure out a way to slow them down, albeit maybe half court, because they run a lot, they get a lot in transition. So we put a kind of our emphasis on just getting back on defense and making them beat us in the half court setting. So it seemed to slow them down a little bit. I mean, they still scored a lot of points, but we made our shots also this time. So
yeah,
it's pretty much went down.
Yeah, Cliff, I was looking at the numbers. I of course, no excuses, but you've had 2 overtime games in 3 games. 2 out of the 3 you've played went into OT. Is fatigue kind of setting in? Is fatigue going to be a concern or a factor here for you guys? Because that last game against in the quarters against Magnolia went into OT. Game 1 of TNT, okay, went past. And then OT again here in Game 2. At some point, do you think fatigue might be a cause of concern for Meralco?
I don't think so. I mean, when you get to this part of the playoffs, I mean, you're not thinking about getting tired. You do whatever you can on the days you get off. So today we finally had a rest day. So a lot of us are going to do hot and cold, a lot of recovery stuff that we need to do. And we'll be ready for Wednesday. While you're playing, you never really feel it. But the day after, and usually after the game, you'll feel tired or you'll feel bruised and beat up. Like today, I'm kind of tired. So it's just a lot of rest in between. But during the game, you never feel tired. It's just usually after.
Mm-hmm. Well, great job. Like it's always the toughest part when you have the task of guarding the import, and you always have that that unenviable task of matching up with the import. Rondé Hollis Jefferson, man, the guy's legit. Of course, former NBA player, and we know what he can do on the floor. He can even like pull the board from the other end, go coast to coast, and drive it all the way. This guy can play inside and out. You still have that energy even after that hard fall in the final seconds of regulation, and you still were able to muster that energy to score Meralco's first 2 baskets in OT. How are you, first of all? I hope you're fine after this nasty fall. Here it is. And then,
I think it's
yeah. Tell us about this play, first of all, and how are you? How's your back? How are you feeling? How's your body?
Well, that was the first time I seen it. So I just know we turned the ball over. I know we were up 1. So I try to do anything as possible to try and stop the fast break. And then I ended up getting, I guess, undercutted by New because I was trying to jump over him to get the block. And then I hit my head. I have a big knot on my head, but other than that, I'm pretty okay. I've had a concussion before, and I don't think it was that. So everything's all right.
You
Scared my wife a little bit, but other than that, I'm okay.
Bro, you just make it sound like concussion is a normal thing for you. Have you had yourself checked? Have you had yourself evaluated by a medical doctor at least? Did you go to?
They told me just to look for signs of if I felt dizzy or anything like that. But
Yeah.
after the car ride home, I knew I was okay, so I didn't really need to get anything checked. I just let it go.
But you're okay. You're how are
I'm
you
good.
how are you feeling for Game 3? You're good. You're ready to go for Wednesday.
Ready to go. Ready
Okay.
to go.
I'm just concerned, buddy. I'm just, because that really looked like a nasty fall. At least you're okay now. How about guarding Rondé? Like I said, you have that unenviable task of sometimes matching up against Rondé. Of course, sometimes it's KJ, but when you, on switches, you take that responsibility of taking on Rondé, who, of course, arguably one of the best imports we've seen play here in the Governor's Cup, in the PBA at least. How is it guarding a guy who moves like that, can shoot from the outside, can drive all the way, get the board, go back on the defensive end, very athletic? How is it just guarding a former NBA player, a legit former NBA player?
Well, I mean, for most of the imports, they're all like, especially this conference, they've been outstanding, which is crazy. But even for a lot of it, it's more mental than anything. It's we get a scouting report, so our coaches do a really good job of preparing us, and it's you try and you're not going to stop these guys. They're too good to just be stopped. So you just try and make them uncomfortable, make it hard, make them play both sides. So the guys that are really good on offense, you want them to play defense, so they get tired, and hopefully by the fourth quarter they're a little bit drained. But yeah, I mean, you just try your best and try and stay in front of these guys, and then all you can do is make it hard for them. You're not going to stop these guys.
Yeah.
I've learned that from just talking to Coach Norman and the coaching staff, and they're just like, hey, just do your best, and we'll cover your backside. So I know I have help whenever I do get beat. So it's more of a team defense, not just a one-on-one. I'm going to stop the guy or anything like that. So yeah, it's a lot of trust.
Yeah. Well, we know Rondé, the triple-double machine, so you just really have to contain the guy because you can also create for his teammates. Let's talk about AB because, I was talking to the kid last night. He just had to attend a wedding. I believe he'll be on the show tomorrow. But Aaron Black, man, a lot has been said about this kid. He has gone through a lot as well. He had, when he was in college, there was a time where he wasn't even getting minutes at all, and then here he is. He's been to the finals with you guys, and then here he is in the semis. Career high for him last night: 28 points, 10 assists. That for me was huge because he also gets his teammates involved. 10 assists. So if those were all 2-pointers, he just created 20 points for you guys. He had 5 boards, 47 and a half minutes of action. He's a young kid. Also 6-0. He had that 6-0 run in the OT period to keep TNT at bay. What can you say about Aaron Black, about AB? And this guy's, just relentless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's come a long way. You could tell that he works on his game in practice. He's always in the gym early and late, so he's working on his game. So all the stuff that he does, that's kind of like, oh, how do you make that? He practices that every day. So and we all have confidence in him bringing his A game. He's always going to work hard. So we know that that's what he's going to bring that every game. And I always tell him to be aggressive and make the defense guard you, because if the defense has to lock in on him, it's
Yeah,
just another person that they have to lock in on.
yeah.
So they're already locked in on Dude. They're already locked in on KJ. If they have to lock in on Aaron, it's gonna be tough. So yeah, I'm just glad that he's confident in himself and he
Yeah.
knows that he can do what he does well, and he does it well for us. So I'm glad that he's taking that next step, and we're gonna need that every game, every game.
Yeah, and you know what, Cliff? The thing about the kid, I always tell him this: keep on playing the way you're playing. Keep on playing with a chip on your shoulder. Because the moment
Always.
you're right. Because the moment you think like, okay, I've made it. Like, okay, I've proven myself or whatever. You take your foot off the gas, and at least he just keeps on playing as if there's something that he needs to prove, which is actually a good thing for him and for Meralco. Well, Cliff, let's continue this conversation. Don't go anywhere, buddy. I hope we'll get back to you in really just a quick break. Our all-out discussion, our conversation with Cliff Hodge of the Meralco Bolts, fresh off evening their series against TNT in the Governor's Cup semis last night in that OT epic game. We'll continue a conversation after the break. Sports Desk will be taking a timeout. Stay tuned only here to CNN Philippines. One of our top stories this morning, the Meralco Bolts evening their semifinal series against the TNT Tropang Giga in the PBA Governor's Cup in epic fashion via OT 124 to 117 last night. Cliff Hodge, the Bionic Man, still with us via Zoom. Cliff,
Yeah, still here.
had to make sure, buddy. Okay, so I was talking about you, KJ, guarding Ronde. How tough is it matching up against Ronde? Let's talk about the big difference because, well, for your import, let's talk about KJ. In game one, KJ only had 12 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 of 16 shooting. But last night, KJ had a monster double-double, 39 points, 20 boards on 14 for 26 shooting. Here are the comparative numbers from game one to game two for KJ. Was there anything that you guys told him, like you specifically being one of the leaders and co-captains of this team, or were you just looking for him in game two being more aggressive? Did you challenge him and say, yo, man, you got to step up against Ronde here in the semis. We need you. We need you to put up your numbers and, score 39, grab 20 boards, and do what you do best.
Yeah, well, we had film, so we watched the film, and we kind of Coach Norman actually really called him out and said, "Hey, we're not going to go anywhere if you're going to have that type of performance." And knowing KJ, I mean, he knows what it's about. He's all about hard work, and I actually told him, "Hey, man, no one's going to be able to stop you. Like on that team, no one can stop you once you get by your man. So just be aggressive and try and get to the line." But get to the paint and abuse them. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he knows what to do. I mean, he used to play for Talking Tex. He had 50 against us in the semis. He's still the same player. So it's just how can we get him good looks and how can we get him just to be more aggressive going against because they have their local guarding him and Jefferson's guarding me. So it's
Yeah.
hard for anyone to guard KJ. I can't even guard him in practice. So as long as he's aggressive, it'll be great for us. And 40 and 20 is crazy.
It is crazy. It's just unbelievable. He should have those numbers every game. I hope it is sustainable for you guys to go all the way here in this conference. I did mention fatigue and rest. Well, your next game will be on Wednesday, so that's an extra day of rest. You had your game against Magnolia last March 22nd, and then you played March 24th against TNT for game one, and then last night for game number, March 26th for game number two, and then March 29th for game three. like I said, it's just really busy for you guys, just a day of rest. How big will this rest be? I know today is your rest day, and then tomorrow's Tuesday, and then you play again for Wednesday. How big is it, for you guys to just take a time off, rest your bodies, especially after a grueling overtime game against TNT last night?
It's huge. I mean, you always, whenever you get these rest days, you always take full advantage of it. Today, I'm gonna hot and cold, and then I'm going to do a whole bunch of just a lot of stuff to get my recovery on. I'm gonna get an IV drip, probably get a massage, anything just to get healthy for the next game. And I'm just resting. A lot of rest, a lot of just chilling. So that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, these games are gonna come fast, and you want them to come quick because you can actually just get it over with. Keep going.
Dude, I'm looking at the schedule, like 4 games. 4 games in 7 days, and 2 of those went into OT. Okay, let's look at the stat sheet. Meralco scored an astounding 84 points in the paint. Here are the numbers, Cliff. 84 points in the paint, doubling TNT's 42. That's wow, plus 42 inside the paint. Was that was there a conscious effort from all of you to attack the interior? If you take a look at the numbers here, because that's the only thing that, I mean, of course, the rebounds, you dominated them as well, plus 16 assists. They had 2 more than you, but inside the paint, was it more of a collective, conscious effort for you guys? Like, let's keep on attacking them inside.
I don't necessarily think so. I think that's what they were kind of giving us.
Okay.
Honestly, with KJ, KJ is going to attack the paint as much as anybody. So that's going to be a lot on him. A lot of it was we actually had a lot of success in the post with our guards. Talking Tex, they're shooting a lot of threes. Yeah. So they're going to take a lot of shots. I think they shot 43s. So we're going to try our best to slow that down. But then I'm pretty sure that they're going to try and make an adjustment and get some more paint touches also. So,
Cliff, looking at the 2 games, what are the things that you guys need to continue doing, and what are the guys that you need to improve on to get Game 3 and be ahead of the series against the mighty TNT 2-1?
For sure, it's going to be getting back on defense, limiting our turnovers, and just trying to slow them down a little bit, make them play half court. They're really good at transition. They're really good at threes. So we're trying to make them miss those 3-pointers. For us, it's just to stay focused. It's a mental game by now. And just keep being aggressive on offense, dominate the rebounds. And then as long as we play smart, I think we'll have a great chance of winning any game.
Last one before I let you go, bro. Coach Norman said you're bionic man because it takes a lot to keep you down. What do you think of that new moniker? Actually, when I was reading articles online and even for the morning show earlier in the news, I said, wow, bionic man. That's actually a good moniker for Cliff Hodge. What do you think of that moniker, man? I actually still prefer Terminator. That's just me.
Used to be a cliffhanger when I could dunk, but I don't know if I can dunk anymore. But I mean, a lot goes into playing this game, and I play with a lot of heart, a lot of passion, and I want to win every game. So whatever it takes, I'm willing to sacrifice my body, anything. So if it sticks, it sticks. If not, it's whatever. But it's funny. But in all honesty, like today, I don't feel too bionic.
No, you are, man. I've known you a long time. When you first got here to the Philippines, I know you're just that workhorse who just does the job. Even if you don't drop a play for you, you'll just keep on doing what you do out there. Cliff, thank you again for your time. Congratulations on that epic game last night, man. Keep on doing what you're doing on Wednesday. Good luck. Game 3 against TNT. Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you.
See you soon. I'll visit you there. I want to see Baby Yoda at the back.
Yeah, for sure.
We just spoke to Cliff Hodge of the Meralco Bolts, fresh off beating TNT and evening out their series in the semifinals. Thanks, Cliff.